He's able to go meet and do town halls with Sean Hannity. He's able to come and talk directly to the people. People ask, why is he here in Austin? He's here because of you. So before we get started here, we're going to go with the most important thing. First off, let's get a show of hands. How many spiritual religious leaders and pastors do we have in the crowd today? I see a lot of hands. The first person I'm going to introduce here is a pastor. His name is Pastor Matias Duran. He spent 20 years in Mexico preaching, and he's been in Austin, Texas. He predominantly preaches to the Hispanic community, but also the immigrant community. He focuses on education, doing mentoring and tutoring. I think it's a very important thing that we help people to achieve the American dream, and it starts at the grassroots. That's people like us who can do what we can to make a difference in our own country, in our own backyard. If we all work together, we can make America great again. So with that, I want to introduce Pastor Duran.
Let's pray. Vamos a orar. Les invito a orar a todos ustedes. Father, we thank you this evening for giving us such a great and wonderful opportunity to be able to pray together for the future of America. I pray blessings on each and every one of us, on each and every one of the families, Father. I pray blessings on this campaign and on this rally. And may we make the right choice as we elect the next president of the United States of America. Señor, bendícenos. Te pedimos la bendición para nosotros y nuestras familias. En el nombre de Cristo Jesús. Amén. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. Next, I want to introduce someone to help us with the Pledge of Allegiance. You might know this lady. She's running for Congress here along the I-35 corridor up between Austin and San Antonio. And it's a tough district, but she's going to need your support. Not only are we going to win in Texas, but we're going to win not only for Mr. Trump and Mike Pence, but we're going to win for all of our Republican candidates. So I want to tell you a little bit about her background, because Susan Narvaez, she's a woman whose story is one which the American dream has allowed her to rise from a high school dropout and a teenage mother from the south side of San Antonio to earn her GED, and she served her community as mayor of San Marcos, not once, not twice, but for 3 terms. Now she's currently running to serve the people of Texas in the United States House of Representatives. Our candidate for U.S. Congress, District 35, Susan Narvaez.
Proud to be with you tonight. We are Americans, and because we're Americans, we're proud of our country and our state. I need your help to win a district that will remain blue if we don't do what we need to do. So I'm asking for your support for not only Donald Trump for president, but for Susan Narvaez for Congress. Would you join me in honoring our flag of our country and our state? Please turn toward the flag and remove your hats. And if you're able to stand, please stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to our state flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, and one and indivisible. Yee-haw!
So it's an honor and privilege to introduce the next singer. She's going to sing the national anthem. This young lady is a close friend of mine. She has won awards singing the national anthem, and she's currently recording her 4th album. She's a tough lady. She's a single mom raising her adopted son. I look up to her very, very much. Please give us a warm Texas welcome for Erica Spence.
Sorry.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
USA, 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 USA. Thank you. That's great. And thank you for that lovely song. Next, our first guest speaker is a fierce yet friendly leader in the conservative movement in Texas. Over the past several years, I've come to rely upon his character and his confidence because he's a man who has learned from his experience to be able to achieve great things. Losing everything in Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina hit, my friend R.W. Bray evacuated to Texas. He found the faith and courage from the community here to start his own business, run for office, and lead a movement to spread the Republican message to all of our communities across the state. Currently, he is the Black Engagement Director for the Republican Party of Texas. He's a proud member of the Young Republicans, Vice President of the MLK Association of Texas, and a veteran Master Sergeant of the Texas Air National Guard. Please welcome R.W. Bray.
There was a time I could mention the names of William Lord Garrison or Frederick Douglass, and people would know exactly who I'm talking about. But that was 170 years ago. And along with our hats and our coats, we've hung up our values and our morals. Same morals that have made America great. I can't help but believe that maybe there's some return to that. But those names are all but been erased in the chronicles of history. There will be a time when I could whisper the names of Stowe or Madam C.J. Walker, and someone might dare to remember them. But that was less than 100 years ago. And those names are about as foreign to us as Plato's cave. I could possibly remember or say a name like Rosa Parks, maybe Senator Everett Dirksen, and someone might remember his name. But it's been an average of 20 years has passed since these souls have walked the earth, and we still have yet to replace them. We ought to be convicted that we've allowed the narrative of republicanism to be rewritten. Like possums, we've rolled over and we've played dead, hoping and begging that the dangers of liberalism will pass us by. Like laughing hyenas, we've ran away from the responsibility of communities that have been drenched in poverty and inequality, all because we've been too afraid to be courageous. But I'm here to remind you of who we are. We're the sons and daughters of abolitionists. Men and women who gave their lives to fight against slavery. But make no mistake about it, slavery has returned. And she is more vicious than ever before, because this time she is colorblind. 31% of white Americans are welfare recipients. 33% of black Americans have fallen for the same rules, and 28% of the Latino community has believed the lie that the government can take care of you from the cradle to the grave. All the while losing their humanity. So when Trump talks about the lies that the Democrat Party has told and the failed policies, both in economics, education, and crime, your heart should be stirred with passion and strength to do something about it. We pranced around in our arrogance. We have pranced around in our arrogance, believing that just maybe something will happen without us doing anything. Just not the case. With the growing population of Hispanics and the decline of the black populace, Jim Crow laws like the Clintons' war on drugs has incarcerated millions of black men. Has left millions of women without husbands, millions of children fatherless. The reason why 1.5 million black men are not in our communities is because of the war on drugs. That's the Democrats' full-out assault against the black man. It is their emasculation of everything that the culture of blacks stand for. They have been emasculated, an entire culture. What will we do about it? So let me tell you this. If you come to this rally thinking that it's a revival, this is not a revival. This is a place where you get armed up to fight. So when Trump starts talking about going into the inner city communities and changing the rhetoric, when he talks about going into the inner city communities and offering a hand up instead of a hand out, I can't help but listen and know that it's the truth. then we must engage. We must engage in the areas of education by offering charter schools and academies to teach our children. We must engage. We must engage in the area of economics by empowering entrepreneurs, not to be job seekers, but job creators. We must engage. We must engage. 94% of black Americans vote Democrat. And have so for half a century and to no avail. If you believe that they are sleeping, you are sadly mistaken. There will be no greater time than now for us to go into these communities and teach them freedom and economic independence. So now you stand at the precipice of change, and times like these are monumental. We must not allow our people to fail. We must not allow the return of slavery. We must prove President Johnson wrong. He thought that the black community would sell their birthright for a bowl of soup. For 200 years, he was sadly mistaken. So let's send a message from Texas to all of America that this is the part of Abraham Lincoln, and we will not be divided. Trump! 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 God bless Texas. God bless America. And God bless you all. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's give it up again for R.W. Bragg. What we need to do if we're going to make America great again is for every single one of us to do whatever it takes that we can do to make it great for us. It comes to every one of you to help your neighbor and your community to get to be where they want to be. We are the party of Lincoln. We're the party of Reagan. We are the ones who believe in life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. I want to bring up another friend of mine who's got just a wonderful story, and I think he's got some great examples that you're going to want to hear about very soon. First off, he was recently announced as a member of the National Hispanic Advisory Board for the Trump campaign. Pretty cool. We had a whole lot of Hispanic leaders from all across the country and several from Texas who were able to go up there and had a really great time to talk a little bit about items to discuss in that community. So Rick Figueroa grew up hard, the youngest in 8, in government housing. He was not raised as a Republican, but he worked his way up from a day laboring ranch hand to eventually manage and own his own ranch. And that's right. I'm not going to steal his line, but he's going to tell you what that's all about when he gets up here. But he embraced the party that he found that shared his values, and his guiding principles have helped him to achieve his dreams in this country that I know we all love. So I'd like to introduce a man that I've grown to trust and rely on, and I know that he's excited to share his story, his experience, and like I said, particularly recently at Trump Tower with all of you here and all of you watching at home. So please give a warm welcome to my friend, Rick Figueroa.
All right, baby. I'm gonna take a middle note. Never follow a black man at a pep rally. I'm gonna tell you that. That's woo. RW. Man, I need a hand cloth or something to wipe the sweat. It was beautiful. But I'll tell you what I do. I got Mr. Trump's credit card. I'm buying a beer. Let's go. Let's just call it a day. What do you think? Josh, thank you so much for being here, inviting me here. It's an honor. I mean, the energy in this room is amazing. You guys are, you give me hope. You give me hope. And dadgummit, I tell you what, we need hope. We need hope. We need Trump. We need, our nation is at a crossroads. Right now, right here, is no time for conservatives to stand on the sidelines. Not to vote is a vote for Hillary. I'm going to say it one more time because I don't think the whole state heard me. Not to vote is a vote for Hillary. There are two choices, and they're very different. The pain and the problems. People are hurting. They're angry because we see a country that's slipping away. And it's slipping fast. And I feel the heart and the pain. And it's almost like, what do you do? And we're spinning around wondering what to do. We have chaos in our immigration system. Our national security is a joke. It's a joke. Countries ignore us. We're paying ransom for hostages. It wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea. Christians are under attack for being Christians. The debt is piling up. Regulations are killing businesses, and I just gave you the lightest few lists. There's many more. The restoration of our founding principles are not going to come from Washington, D.C. They're going to come from you. You will restore this country. It will not come from Washington, D.C. It'll be you. It'll be people like you who say, enough. We've had enough. Say it with me. We've had enough. Enough. So you got to ask, who's this good-looking Latino standing in front of you? I know. And why did he get this spot? So let me tell you a little bit about myself. And Josh alluded it. I'm from Bay City, Texas. I don't know if you know. Small town. I grew up baby of 8. I grew up as a laborer on a ranch, and it was good work. My mom worked 36 years in a hospital kitchen. 36 years. She's my man. I have met presidents, senators, CEOs. No one is more greater than my mother, I'll tell you. And I give her a blessing. And it is by the hand of God I stand in front of you today. My mother, who raised me, had simple rules. So let me tell you the rules, right? 7 rules. Rule number 1 is you get your butt out of bed and you go to work. Okay? Rule number 2 is you don't expect anybody to help you. Right? Rule number 3 is you help others when you can. Rule number 4 is you pray. Oh. Dear God, we have to pray. We need to pray. Rule number 5 is you find a good woman and you marry her. I had some ladies want me to reinforce that. You find a good woman and you marry her. You have godly kids and you honor God in everything you do. Now, my mother wasn't trying to raise a Republican. She was trying to make a boy into a man. These are principles we believe in this country. That's who we are. We're straightforward. The principles are simple. Now, I had the privilege. Can you imagine a kid from the barrio of Bay City going to Trump's office? Only in America. Can I get an amen? Only in America. And I will tell you, I had the privilege because he wanted to hear from the Latinos. And he said, let me hear your heart. And I'm going to tell you, he postponed the meeting. Do you know why he postponed the meeting? Do you want to know why he postponed the meeting? He went to Louisiana. That's why he went to. I didn't get invited to play golf at Martha's Vineyard. I could have gone to Martha's Vineyard, but I didn't. I was honored to wait for Mr. Trump and Mr. Pence because they know the pain and the suffering people are having, and they wanted to be there for him. I didn't see our leader there. Did not see him there. So let me tell you, Mr. Trump looked at us and he simply said this. He says, tell me your heart. And he listened. 80% of the conversation was us. And you've seen media, so let me be very clear because I was in the room. He said, give me your heart. What is it? And we told him our heart. And it was so important. That's my uncle. Leave it, ignore him. Don't worry about it. It was so important that he heard it. And then he said, tell me, help me. That's a man who went into, a leader listens. He's a leader. Don't believe the media. He listens. He cared. Don't believe the liberal media. And I told him, I said, you know, I was told about 8 years ago that this guy came to me, si se puede, and I haven't seen anything from him. And he looked at me and he said, that's true. And so you know what I told him? What the hell we got to lose, right? We need to vote. We need to stop. As a Hispanic community, we stop and look at the principles that I've told you. Those are principles of our family. Those are principles of our lives. That is what brought me from the barrio to the boardroom. From the worker on the ranch to the ranch owner. It wasn't a government check. It wasn't a handout. It was a blessing. And by the grace of God, I go. So I stand here. You should expect more from your nation. You should expect more from your leaders. You have to expect more if this country is going to survive. Here's my ask. You ready for my ask? Will you stand with me? All right. I'm sorry, is this a Democratic Party? Will you stand with me? Stand with me. Now. Trump, Trump, Trump. Here today, right now, stand with me, shoulder to shoulder, exactly you are. Right here, America changes. Right here, we grasp our country back. Right here, just like Bray just told us, we stand, we fight, and we take what's ours. And by the grace of God, and only by the grace of God, in January, it'll be Mr. President Donald J. Trump.
USA, 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 USA. You know, this reminds me back when I used to go to college in Austin. We would say something like USA on this side and Trump on this side. Can I hear a USA? Can I hear a Trump? USA? Trump? Let's get going. Yeah, y'all keep going. Y'all have to stop. That's cool. I want to introduce a man who actually needs no introduction. If you were paying attention to our nominees convention, you're not going to forget one of the most unforgettable speakers at that convention speech. I want to invite up to speak Pastor Mark Burns. Let's give it out for him.
Are you ready to elect the next president of the United States of America? Woo! I'm Pastor Mark Burns, and I'm so excited to be here in the great state of Texas, where nobody messes with Texas. You don't mess with Texas, and I want to declare to the whole world that Texas is now Donald Trump country. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt, Texas, that the great state of Texas will never allow Hillary Clinton to become the next president of the United States of America. Never, 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 never. Shout never. Shout never. Never will we allow that woman to ever step foot back inside the White House. Because you know why? We don't trust a lying criminal. Lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. Because aren't you so glad, Texas, that it came out today that there was about 15,000 more emails that just happened to be discovered? I mean, it just happened to be discovered, because I can guarantee you this: she done everything in her power to make sure those emails stay hidden. But we are not stupid, Hillary Clinton. Who does she think we are? We're only the greatest, baddest, meanest, most greatest country in the world, the United States of America. USA. USA. Because we're not stupid. We're not ignorant to the devices of those that are in power. And aren't you excited that that noose is just unraveling itself with Hillary Clinton? It's just tearing apart. There's a drip, drip, drip system. Baby, keep on dripping, because eventually the water is going to bust wide open. And I don't know about you, but I believe there's some Jesus-loving Christians here in the great state of Texas. We're not ashamed. Say, we're not ashamed. Say, we're not ashamed. And you can't silence us forever. You can't shut us up. And I got a word to the multi-mainstream media. What is done in the dark will come in the light. Light. You know, I want to give credit to my friend Barney Stewart on Fox Business News. Have y'all been watching Fox lately? I want to give a shout out to Barney and Company and Fox News, because they've been doing a good job. They're calling out the mainstream media and the vicious lies that's making Donald Trump look bad. But I bet here in Texas, we don't care what the rest of the world say. We are voting for Donald J. Because we are tired of this pay-to-play system. This pay-to-play system that's trying to say, as long as you give me money, you get access. That's why they trying to come against Donald Trump. That's why they call him racist, because he is not politically correct. He's not playing those politic games anymore. Anymore. We just served notice on all those political hacks in Washington, D.C., I dare you to say, not on my watch. Not on my, not on my. If you believe it, say we will never let Clintons take power again. Never. Just pay to play. And they really think that we're going to let it go, but we're not going to let it go. And I don't know about you, Texas, but they will never touch my guns, ever. Never, 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 never. Say never. Shout never. We're not touching the Second Amendment. And I'm tired of the mainstream media just because we are supporting Donald Trump and just because he refuses to be politically correct. The only way for them to combat that is to call him a racist. They can't come up with anything else, but they got to call him a racist and a bigot. I don't care about you, but I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm proud. And I refuse to let anybody make me feel like I'm a racist simply because I believe that Americans come first. Just like that Iranian deal and the government and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. They're going to try to convince the American public that they didn't offer up a $400 million ransom. How weak is that? How weak is that? And now a report just come out that declares Iranians are now looking for Americans to kidnap. What in the world they thought was going to happen? Because I remember under President Reagan, he declared that we will never negotiate with terrorists. Never, 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 never. Shout never. Shout never. Ever will Donald Trump be shown to be somebody that will negotiate with terrorists. Because if you do it to one of them, you open the door for the rest of them to come through the door. And I don't know about you, Hillary Clinton, but we here in Texas, we have not forgot 9/11. Never. And this politically correct system, it drives me crazy. Aren't you happy that Donald Trump is not politically correct? Did you read, they reported on the great station of Fox Channel, Fox News, they reported that a school, hear me, sent out a form to their students for them to opt out, hear me, of repeating the Pledge of Allegiance. They sent the form out to their children because they are worried about that under God is in the Pledge of Allegiance. But I don't know about you, America. I'm proud to say that I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under indivisible for liberty, justice. Everybody, USA. 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 And that means liberty and justice for all. Black lives, white lives, Asian lives, Indian lives, white lives, Christian lives, Muslim lives. I declare to you here in Texas that all lives all lives matter. That's why it's so important that we elect Donald Trump to become the next president of the United States, because we can't allow the liberal, race-baiting Democratic Party we can't allow them to separate us, to have us fighting black people against white people, against Hispanic people, because they understand if I can divide you, I can conquer you, and if I conquer you, I can control you. Somebody say, not on my watch, not on my watch, not on my watch, because I love everybody. I serve a God that loves everybody. I serve a God that loves everybody. You don't even got to believe in him. He's still going to love you. I wish I had some witnesses in the house tonight. Look at your neighbor and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Come on, look at your neighbor. Say, I love you. I don't know you, but I love you. Come on, help me out in the back. I don't know you, but I love you. I don't know your name, but I love you. That means what happens to you while we Americans happens to me. Let me say that again. I love you enough that what happens to you happens to me. You know why? Because we are the United States of America. USA. I've come to declare to the great state of Texas and to the whole world, let me just say this before I go. I'm excited that Donald Trump will be a president for all races. Everybody. Everybody. Donald Trump is not going to pander after no one race. Because you know why, America? Poverty knows no color. I don't think you heard what I said. I said poverty knows no color. Poverty don't care whether you're black or you're white. Poverty don't care whether you're young or old. We need jobs that have left our great country to come back to the United States of America. That means jobs for you, jobs for me, jobs for everybody. That's why we have to elect Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is going to make sure that the wall goes up. He is going to make sure that we are protected. Build that wall. Build that wall. And who is going to pay for it? Mexico! Because Donald Trump understands that we Americans have been suffering entirely too long. And he understands I'm not going to do what Hillary Clinton has been doing to the African American community. They want to try to make you to believe that African Americans are better off after 8 years of President Barack Obama. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. The Democratic Party has been a cancer on black people. See, I don't got time to be politically correct for you. I'm proud to be a black American. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm a child of God first, an American second, and a black man third. Do I got a witness in the house tonight? My allegiance is first to my God, and then to my country, and then to my family. Because Dr. King declared that there's come a day that his 4 girls will live in the world, that they're not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And that's what Donald Trump stands for. Donald Trump is not the racist. The Democratic Party, they are the racists. They are the racists because while even now the net worth of a black family in this country is less than $5,000. Really? And they want to try to paint to you that everybody in the black community is doing good. It's amazing how the critics of Donald Trump try to criticize his speech on African Americans, even though they try to come against him. Donald Trump gained 6 times more of the black people in this country that are now supporting Donald Trump for president of the United States of America. 6 times. 6 times. Because the Democratic Party think we black people are still on the plantation, that we're dumb and we're ignorant, and they even go and hire even more black slavers to keep more black people on the plantation. We are in America, people. We're in America. And I want to declare to the whole world that here in America, despite the color you was born with, here in this great country, the only colors that matter are the colors of the red, white. God bless you, Texas. And I ask you to help me elect the next president, Donald J. Shout Trump, Trump, Trump.
Isn't he great? Is this a party or what? I want to give a shout out to Pastor Burns' wife, Tamara. She's his backbone. She travels with him. She does a great job. God bless the both of you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker, former state representative. He's active in the rodeo, and he's a member of the Texas Vocational Agriculture Teachers Association. He's currently the Ag Commissioner of Texas, and he's also helping us on our leadership team here in Texas, and he was recently named to the National Trump Agriculture Advisory Board. This is an awesome guy. I had the pleasure to campaign with him a couple of years ago. He's a great conservative. Please help me welcome Commissioner Sid Miller.
Is there any patriots in the house? Yeah! You know, about a month ago, Eric was talking about this agriculture advisory team. The Trump organization reached out to me to be on their agriculture advisory team and help assemble a team of agriculture leaders and insightful people to give the campaign some insight on agriculture. And I think that's very important. Agriculture is a matter of national security. And you may think, how does the Ag Commissioner get there? Well, just let me tell you, it's real simple. The moment we become dependent upon a foreign power for our food and our clothing, that's the moment we lose all of our freedoms. You know, I'm honored to be part of this campaign. I'm all in, and we've got to win this election. If we let Hillary Clinton win this election, that's the end of America. We don't have a choice. We're going to win this. We're going to win it big for Trump. You know, we sit down in these strategy meetings and advise the team on critical issues in agriculture. Things like farm subsidies, which we don't need farm subsidies. We've got crop insurance. We don't need to be giving handouts. That's over with. Especially when it comes to things like ethanol subsidies. When you think about it, it's just plain wrong to take perfectly good corn whiskey and pour it in your fuel tank. Who thought of that? But there's some reasons that I really get excited about Donald Trump and being on this Agriculture Advisory Committee. You know, it's a $115 billion industry to Texas. It's 1 in 7 jobs in our state is related to agriculture. We lead the nation in exports, cattle, cotton, wool, mohair, horses, and a whole other things. It's a big part of it, second only to the oil and gas industry. And it's always been the glue that's held our state together, and it's held our country together. So for these reasons, this is why agriculture is getting behind the Donald J. Trump campaign. Number one is our Supreme Court. Donald Trump is the only candidate that will appoint conservative judges to that court, and for agriculture, that's imperative. It's our number one issue. One of our number one issues in agriculture is private property rights. And those rights are decided and sometimes taken away at the Supreme Court level. Other issues like the Second Amendment rights. That's very important to agriculture. Because let me just tell you, if it has fins, feather, fur, we can make a living from it. Right? If you take our guns away, you take away our livelihood. And then the obvious reasons like the right to life is very dear. You know, Donald Trump, he's a businessman, and he understands federal overreach and overtaxation, overregulation, and he'll be good for agriculture. You know, as your agriculture commissioner, I'm suing the EPA, and I'm suing the Corps of Engineers. I'm having to sue them over the waters of the U.S. They're trying to regulate even stream ditches and bar ditches and how deep we can plow our fields. They'll put us out of business. Donald Trump understands that we can't live under those kind of regulations, and he's pledged, as soon as he's sworn in, he'll do away with the waters of the U.S. and overreach of the EPA. But it's not just the EPA, it's the BLM trying to steal 90,000 acres. Yeah. had to file an amicus brief. They're trying to seize 90,000 acres on our Red River, take it away from the farmers and ranchers, not pay them one dime for it. That has to stop. So we've got the BLM, the EPA, the Endangered Species Act. There's 200 species proposed to be added to that list, and they're simply trying to put out production agriculture and the oil and gas industry. So we've got the EPA and the ESA and the BLM, the TSA and the IRS, and all these three-lettered federal agencies that make me want to holler four-letter words. But the number one reason that I think Donald J. Trump will be outstanding for the agriculture industry is when it comes to trade. You know, we have an $800 billion trade deficit. Now, that's a history of making bad deals. You don't have to hire an economist to figure out if you spend more than you're taking in, you're going broke. And that's where we're headed. Donald J. Trump can turn that around. Let me just tell you, maybe you've liked the TPP. If you think that's a good deal, good. If you think it's a bad deal, that's good. But let me just tell you, it's not going to pass in this lame duck session. And I want to let Donald J. Trump negotiate that deal. We have a trade deal called NAFTA. It's probably over 20 years old. We haven't renegotiated that contract in 20 years. If you like NAFTA, that's okay. We'll let Donald J. Trump make a good deal, a better deal, a great deal. If you think it's a bad deal, we'll still let him make it a great deal. Right? So, Donald J. Trump is a deal maker. His reputation as the next president of the United States will go down in history as the guy that made good deals. Absolutely. He'll make America great again. And with your help, we'll get him there. I want everyone, when they go home, don't lose the enthusiasm for this rally. Volunteer. Phone bank in those 17 battleground states. You can do that from your home. Help us out. Get on the team. And I guess it wouldn't be fair if I didn't mention Hillary. Well, lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. Well, I've got a message for Hillary, and it's this. We don't need you or your corrupt friends or your goons coming to Texas, or much less running the United States of America. We've got too much of Bill and Hillary already. I will give her this. She does know a little bit about agriculture. She's been milking the taxpayer for about 30 years. I'm going to wrap up here because I think Mr. Trump is on his way in. Let me just leave you with this thought. Most of us here in this room, we have a good family doctor, and that's very important. Most of us have a lawyer, some of us more than one, and that's important when you need a good one. You may need a firefighter someday, and if you do, you want the best that's available. God bless you, sir. But here's what I want you to think about. Every day, for the rest of your life, 3 times a day, you're going to need a farmer. God bless you. Go Donald J. Trump. Thank y'all.
USA! So there's one person I think we all want to hear from today, isn't there? Look at this crowd. Isn't this a wonderful crowd? Thank you all for coming out today. We have so much energy in this room. We're going to unleash this energy, and we're going to make America great again. We had an awesome night tonight for our pre-show, and Mr. Trump will be coming out very soon. I do want to say thank you all for coming out. If you just bear with us for a few more minutes, we're going to have a great time. The show's just getting started, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani.
Well, it is great to be here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Could we fit anybody else in here? I don't know. 7,000, 8,000? Come on, unbelievable. You know what that means? That means we're going to win. You think she gets this kind of enthusiasm? What are you here for? You're here for Donald Trump. You're here because you're tired of the way things are now? You want more and better jobs? You want lower taxes, right? You want your border secure? You want to take on radical Islamic terrorism and defeat them? You want a president who's going to build up our military, not tear it down like she will? And you want someone who's going to support our police? Well, Donald Trump will. And Hillary Clinton will find them guilty. And then when a judge finds them not guilty, she doesn't even apologize. Because she doesn't like the police. She doesn't respect the police. So we got one chance to change the direction of this country. It's even more important than any of us, because it's for America. This is our chance, our one chance to change America. Make sure Hillary Clinton doesn't get back in the White House. And let's make sure that we send a man who's had success all his life, a man who speaks truth, a man who speaks directly, and a man who can get things done, Donald Trump. It's my honor to present to you one of his strongest supporters, one of the very best United States senators from the state of Alabama, Senator Jeff Sessions.
Thank you, good friend. Rudy Giuliani is the greatest crime fighter in the last century, I gotta tell you. His crime policies saved more lives in New York than I don't know who else could have saved in the time he served as America's mayor. Absolutely fabulous. I had the honor to work for him when he was Associate Attorney General of the United States, and I was lowly United States Attorney in Alabama, appointed by Ronald Reagan, and so we had a good time together. Let me tell you, the American people are right. This country is on the wrong track. We've been on the wrong track too long. Let me ask you this. Does Hillary Clinton have the drive, the understanding, the courage to put us on the right track again? Business as usual with Hillary Clinton in the White House. Status quo. That's what we're going to get. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Does Donald Trump have the determination, the courage, the energy, the will to put America back on the right track again? Listen, this is a historic election. If we don't fix the immigration broken system now, it will not be fixed. This may be our last chance. The American people are good and decent. They want a lawful system of immigration that protects our national security and our national interests and our jobs and prospects. Let me tell you, Donald Trump has the will and the determination to follow through on that and get that done. He will sign legislation that President Obama vetoed last year to eliminate Obamacare. He will sign that, and we will get rid of that. So let me just tell you, we've got a leader who will stand up and fight, and he's not afraid of them. He's not afraid of the establishment, and he's going to stand up for the people of the United States and put us on the right track again, the track and make America great. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I am so happy to be back in the great state of Texas. Thank you. Thank you. The people of Texas are proud. They're independent and they are free. There is no better place to deliver the message I have to deliver tonight than right here, right in the middle of freedom. Thank you. Tonight's message is about redeclaring our independence as a country. On November 8th, a very, very important date, we are going to declare our independence from special interest, corrupt politicians, and I might add, very corrupt politicians. And from a rigged system that benefits only the insiders. We're going to bring our jobs back. We're bringing them back to our country, and we're going to create millions of new jobs. We are going to declare our independence from politicians who don't listen to us and media executives that don't care about us, and by the way, who never report our massive and very, very friendly crowds, that's for sure. We are going to declare our independence from rising crime, soaring poverty rates, and crushing debt. We're going to declare our independence from failures of the past and create a new American future. Once again, we will have a government of, by, and for the people. Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. It's going to be America first from now on. America first. Thank you. Let me tell you what this new future looks like. We're going to cut taxes and create millions and millions of new jobs. And we are not going to allow other countries to steal our businesses any longer. We're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. It's a disaster. We're going to appoint judges who will support, defend, and uphold the Constitution of the United States. We're going to save and cherish our Second Amendment, which is under siege. We will ensure every veteran in this country has a right to seek medical treatment at a VA facility or with the private doctor of their choice if they don't get that kind of care. We are going to eliminate job-killing regulations. We're going to unleash an American energy revolution like you've never seen before. Let's talk about another issue that is so important to our future and the future of our children. That's the issue of crime. Violent crime is rising across the country. More than 2,700 have been shot in Chicago alone this year. 2,700 people shot. No American should consider this level of crime acceptable. Every American has the right to live in safety and peace. A Trump administration is going to restore law and order. And while we're at it, let me take this opportunity to thank our wonderful police and law enforcement officers. This state has known unbelievable heartache in the recent days after the murder of 5 police officers and the wounding of another 7 in the assault, and you know what we're talking about, the horrible assault on Dallas. We pray for the families and hope for the speedy recovery of the wounded. To all law enforcement in America, we are with you, we support you, and we will always stand with you. We love you. Together, we'll... Together, we will create a safe community for every citizen in the land, but especially those and for those who have not known safety in a very, very long time. And there are plenty of people in our country who have not known safety for a long time. That includes appointing an Attorney General and a Secretary of Homeland Security who are completely committed to upholding the law. I will appoint federal officials and investigators who will work hand in hand with police and citizens to dismantle gangs, cartels, and criminal syndicates terrorizing our people. And they are all over the place. I will appoint prosecutors who will go into the most dangerous communities in America and work to liberate our citizens from violence and fear. All citizens deserve to be protected. No American will be left behind. I want every African American parent in this country and all parents in this country to be able to raise their children in safety. I want to ensure every African American child in this country and all children in this country who are put on a ladder to success. We are going to put people in this country on the ladder to success. A good education with a great paying job. That's success. We're going to have school choice. We're going to have charter schools and merit pay for our great teachers. My opponent, crooked Hillary Clinton, discriminates against African American students by opposing school choice and because she is owned and paid for by the education bureaucracy and, of course, Wall Street. That we know. No one owns me. No one owns me. Believe me. Nobody. I answer only to the American people. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. In a New York Post column recently, DeRoy Murdoch published data confirming what I've been saying about the devastating economic conditions in the African American communities. Murdoch confirms these facts. The overall labor force participation rate The overall labor force participation rate for Black Americans has slipped from 63.2% down to 3.2% recently. This metric also slumped for Black teenagers from 29.6% to 27.7%, down 6.4%, going in the wrong direction. Everything going in the wrong direction. Our country is going in the wrong direction. The percentage of Black Americans in poverty has grown under Obama, the Census Bureau reports, from 25.8% in 2009 to 26.2%. Up too much. Too much. The number of blacks on food stamps soared under Obama to 11.7 million people in 2014, up 58.2%. Also, from Obama's arrival through last June 30th, the percentage of black Americans who own homes plunged 41.7%. Nearly 4 in 10 African American children live in poverty. That's no good and not fair. 58% of young African Americans are not employed. Homicide is up nearly 50% in Washington, D.C., and up more than 60% in Baltimore, and up throughout all of our inner cities. Violent crime rose 17% in the 50 largest U.S. cities. This is the legacy of President Obama and Hillary Clinton. It can't get any worse. To those suffering, I say, what do you have to lose in trying Trump? What do you have to lose? I will fix it. I will fix it. I will fix the problem. With rates of crime, with rates of poverty like you've just heard, what do you have to lose? I will fix the problem. We will fix it. Let me tell you what we have to gain. More jobs, we'll bring them in. I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Believe me. Believe me. Higher wages and a massive reduction in the terrible crime plaguing our inner cities. We are going to turn it all around. Give Donald Trump a chance. I say this to the African American community. Give Donald Trump a chance. We will turn it around. We will make your streets safe, so when you walk down the street, you don't get shot, which is what's happening now. That's what's happening now. Success has to be created for everyone, and it has to be available to everyone. That's how we're going to create a new American future. But to make every American safe and prosperous, we must address one of the most vital issues of all: border security. We are going to build the wall. And who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico is going to pay for the wall. We have massive trade deficits with Mexico, with China, with Japan, with everybody. Those deficits will go away. We're going to bring our jobs back. You're going to be so happy. But Mexico, in fact, will pay for the wall 100%. We are going to enforce the law. We're going to protect your jobs and your wages. We are going to protect them. Your companies are not going to flee our country, think they can make their product and sell it back into our country without serious repercussion. We are going to keep our country safe. According to the Texas government, nearly 200,000 illegal immigrants were booked into Texas jails between 2011 and 2016. Collectively, those arrested were responsible for more than 500,000 criminal offenses, including 1,055 homicides, 5,516 sexual assault charges, and more than 50,000 charges of either burglary or theft. Not going to happen, folks. We're not going to let it happen to our country. It's enough. Yet Hillary Clinton wants a totally open border. She wants catch and release. She wants Obamacare and other things for illegal immigrants, in many cases more than our great veterans get. She has said she's going to give massive amnesty in her first 100 days. She wants to gut immigration enforcement. The immigration people do such a great job, but they have no leadership at the top. She supports sanctuary cities. Boom. She wants to let people overstay their visas without removal. One lawless order after another. We must not let that happen. We are going to vote for President Donald Trump, and we're going to stop it. We love Texas. Love Texas. Hillary Clinton also wants a 550% increase over Obama, who's letting them come in by the thousands. In Syrian refugees, we have no idea who they are, where they come from, no paperwork. The great Trojan horse, it's going to be trouble, folks. There have been hundreds of immigrants and their children charged with terrorism inside the United States since 9/11, and a number of terrible attacks like the Boston bombing, San Bernardino, and Orlando. Yet Hillary Clinton wants to fling open the floodgates to our borders. Let everybody come in, open up our country, let people pour in. We don't know anything about them. It's going to be a nightmare for our country, just like it's turning out to be an absolute nightmare for Europe. Just ask them what's going on. I want to create safe zones in the Middle East. And we'll get the Gulf states to pay for them. We owe almost $20 trillion, folks. We're not paying, but we want to help people. Look, I have as big a heart as anybody. Believe me, we have to help people. We're going to build safe zones in the Middle East. We're going to get the Gulf states to chip in to pay for them because they have the money. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. My plan suspends visas when we can't perform effective screening, and it puts forward a new ideological screening program to keep out people from our country who don't support our values. I'm calling it extreme vetting. Extreme vetting. After all, that is what taking the oath of citizenship is all about. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any place that's better to be or safer to be than a Trump rally? Right? Right in the heart of Texas. This election, so important, will decide whether or not we have a border. This election will decide whether or not we have a country. Today, I met with the moms of incredible American children killed by illegal immigrants as a result of the policies of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Hillary Clinton will never meet with these families. She will never hear their incredible but so sad stories. She will never hear. She doesn't have the heart, believe me. I would like to invite the mothers who lost their children to illegal immigration to join me on the stage right now. These are great people. They're here with the incredible Remembrance Project. Come on up. I also want to invite very, very special people that I've gotten to know over the years, and they've given me their endorsement, first time ever in their history. The Border Patrol, folks, they are so good. These are incredible people. The suffering that the families have gone through is incredible. And Jameel Shaw, another friend of mine, what he's gone through is just unbelievable. So I just want to thank you. I want to say that we are with you 100%. And your children did not die in vain, because we're not going to allow it to happen to others. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Give him a big hand. Thank you very much. Border Patrol, amazing. Come here, Sean. Come here, say something, Sean. Thank you.
19 years as a Border Patrol agent has taught me one thing: our borders are not secure. 40 to 60% effectiveness is not a secure border, and that's what we have today. We only arrest 40 to 60% of those who cross the border. Donald Trump will change that. And it needs to be changed. Your country is not safe. Our homes are not safe unless Donald Trump changes the security of the border, and he will do that. And that's why we endorsed him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for believing in Mr. Trump, because he has certainly alleviated our fears. I'm telling you, my son was systematically tortured, beaten, murdered, and set on fire. I'm an average American family. If this can happen to my family, it can happen to yours. I am looking forward to voting in Mr. Trump, who will end this slaughter of Americans. As you can see that we have shirts of our children and some banners, I have one of another mother's shirt today because I want you to remember there are so many people and families with the Remembrance Project that are on their knees in grief that they can't get out and talk about it. Pray for those families today, and thank you so much.
My name is Agnes Gebenya. My only son was murdered by an illegal alien, and I am a legal immigrant. It took my family 13 years. Thank you. And Mr. Trump is the only one that's going to protect your children from being slaughtered like my son was. Thank you, and God bless.
Hello, my name is Marianne Mendoza, and my son, Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, Mesa, Arizona police officer, was killed when a repeat criminal, illegal alien, drove over 35 miles the wrong way on 4 different freeways in Phoenix May 12, 2014, and slammed head-on into my son on his way home from work. He had been previously convicted of crimes up in Colorado. The judges showed leniency once he was caught and brought back for justice. So, as I was talking to Mr. Trump earlier, please, please, please research the judges who you are voting for also, because we've got crooked federal judges in our court system. Thank you.
Thank you, Texas. I'm a German legal immigrant, and my only child, my son was killed 4 years ago. So if a few of you still feel that compassion for illegal families not being separated, this is what I have of my family, his ashes. I have no family left. And the only one that will protect you, your family, and future generations is our next president, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Incredible people, what they've gone through, incredible. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. And so many more. Hundreds, thousands, so many more. We will never let these families down. On immigration, Clinton is bought and paid for by special interests. She's never going to do the right thing. This corruption relates closely to another corruption scandal that strikes at the heart of our country and our democracy. Every day, more and more alarming facts come out. What are you going to do? The scandal I speak of is the State Department's pay for play. It's right now being looked at very seriously. Probably nothing will happen, even though it should happen, because she is being protected by our country like nothing ever before, and it's a disgrace. And as the world watches, it's such an embarrassment to everyone in this big arena. It is a total embarrassment. If our Secretary of State can be bought or bribed or sold, look what's happening right now with government favors, then the whole American system is threatened. So many people, for doing so far less, are right now suffering tremendous repercussions, tremendous, for doing so far less, for doing a tiny fraction of what Hillary Clinton did. It is a disgrace. This is a threat to the foundation of democracy, a threat. This is what happens in third world countries. It's the failed conditions of people, and this is why they flee to America, and they come here and they get no better. Our laws and our country is being jeopardized. America can never elect a candidate who, like Hillary Clinton, did government favors for those giving her family and her foundation massive amounts of cash. The new revelations about Hillary Clinton's email scandal make clear we have only seen the tip of the iceberg. Hillary Clinton is desperate to cover up her crimes, and she has been unsuccessful, except that some people that head up some very important groups have said it's okay, even though it was never okay for others. That's why she deleted 33,000 emails, and she got away with it, sort of. That's also why she lied repeatedly to Congress and to the American public. She said she never sent or received classified materials. That was a lie, proved over and over again. She claimed she used her email server for the convenience of using only one device. But she used multiple devices, so that was yet another lie. She said she turned over all of her work-related emails, but the FBI found thousands she never turned over, and now, just recently, found another 15,000 more. That was another lie. Can you imagine what she had on the 33,000 deleted emails? Can you imagine? She said she sent nothing more classified, a total lie, unmasked to the entire world, and more to come. She said her server was secure and had no breaches, but we know now it was completely unsecure, and the FBI director said it could be easily hacked by foreign enemies. More Clinton lies. Clinton said her lawyers reviewed all of her emails before destroying them. That was a lie. And why were her lawyers let free when they destroyed the emails? Lie after lie after lie. Hillary Clinton is totally unfit to hold public office. It is impossible to figure out where the Clinton Foundation ends and the State Department begins. It is now abundantly clear that the Clintons set up a business to profit from public office. They sold access and specific actions by and really for, I guess, the making of large amounts of money. Today, a phone log was released for Cheryl Mills. I will say this, the Bernie protesters were much better, they had much more vim and vigor. These have very, very, very little energy. So you had a phone log today that was released. She was Secretary of State Clinton's Chief of Staff. You would expect the log to contain only calls concerning Department of State business. But Cheryl Mills received 148 messages between 2010 and 2012 from the Chief Operating Officer of the Clinton Foundation. No other individual or group appears to have left that many messages. We also just learned today that more than half the people who met with Hillary Clinton from outside government while she was Secretary of State were donors to the Clinton Foundation. The specific crimes committed to carry out that enterprise are too numerous to cover in this speech. I walked through two of them yesterday. The sale of U.S. uranium to Russia, and the exemption of a telecom giant from sanctions after they paid Bill Clinton a tremendous amount of money for a speech. The UBS saga is another one. Shortly after Hillary Clinton became Secretary of State, she went to Geneva and intervened in a dispute concerning secret identities of Americans. That's nice. She negotiated a very good deal for UBS and a very bad deal for law enforcement. Of the 52,000 accounts the U.S. was seeking, the government settled for only 4,450. Her intervention was described by Treasury as unusual. Before her unusual intervention, UBS had donated only $60,000 to the foundation. After the Clinton favor for UBS, it opened its wallet for big bucks, and out came a $600,000 contribution, a $32 million loan, and a $1.5 million speaking fee for Bill Clinton. This is corruption, and this is why I have called for a special prosecutor to look into this mess. Justice is supposed to be blind. It's never supposed to be for sale. Hillary Clinton thinks she's above the law. Come November, the American people will show her that she is not. We will have a tremendous victory on November 8th. We will win, and we will make
America great again. You will be voting for justice, fairness, equality, and jobs. We will be working on making our inner cities and African American people who have suffered so long in these unsafe, horrible places, they will be so proud of what takes place over the next 4 years if I'm elected president. You will also be voting for a more inclusive country where no one is left out. Another 2 million Latinos have joined the ranks of those in poverty. No good. Incomes for Latino households have declined by nearly $1,000 under President Obama. The number of Latino children living in poverty increased by 15%. Our pro-growth, pro-jobs, pro-family agenda is going to bring back hope to every community in our nation. I will dedicate myself to restore the ladder of success to all of those who live in poverty, of which there are tremendous numbers. We reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, who sees communities of color only as votes, not as human beings worthy of a better future. She is a disgrace. The era of division is coming to an end. We will create a new future of American unity. Are you ready for real American change? You'll get it, and it'll be beautiful. It's time to emphasize what we all have in common as Americans. We will promote our common culture, values, and principles. We will be one nation. We will be one people. We will share together one great future. It's going to be America first again. We will make America proud again. We will make America prosperous again. And we will make America safe again. Friends, citizens, and fellow Americans, we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. November 8th, go out and vote. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.